Welcome to Financial Friday. This is episode number 15, and I appreciate you joining me. This is going to be an episode where we're talking about expanding our capacity. Today, we're going to be talking about expanding our capacity out of pain. So let me kind of explain this before you just automatically turn off my channel. So I'm not saying that you have to have pain in order to expand your capacity. That is not what I'm saying, so don't hear me say that. What I am saying is we need to expand our capacity to our pain level. So let me start by reading a scripture that I want to read, and then we'll talk about it some more. So the statement behind this is your capacity is only as good to your pain threshold. So let me read this scripture. I'm going to read 1 Corinthians 9. I'm going to start in verse 24 and read through the end of the chapter. This is Paul talking about it in Corinthians to the Corinthian church. Paul says, "Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run in order to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training." Disciplined in their training. That's where I'm going. They do it to win the prize so that it doesn't fade away, but we do it for eternal prize. So run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadow boxing. Paul says, I am disciplining my body like an athlete, training to do what I should. Otherwise, I fear that preaching to others, I myself may be unqualified. So what Paul's saying here, spiritually, he is growing himself, disciplining himself. So what brings discipline? Pain. All right, you guys, if you're in the athletic world or you've been in the athletic world, you probably don't even need to be in the athletic world. You've heard athletes say, no pain, no gain. When you see a weightlifter lifting, he or she is lifting to their pain capacity. So as they're lifting, their muscles will eventually say, okay, I'm done. Now, that doesn't mean that muscle doesn't have more capacity. What that's telling them is I've lifted to my pain capacity, and so now I can't lift anymore. So there may be more capacity there in your muscles, but you've lifted to your pain capacity. So you have to then go back into the gym, let your muscles relax, go back into the gym a couple of days later, and I know I'm not speaking from experience here. I am speaking from knowledge, not personal experience, but they go back into the gym a couple of days and they lift until they start building that pain tolerance and that pain endurance, they start building that up. And so what that does is that builds their muscle capacity. So in the financial realm, what we have to do is we have to build our pain tolerance up in our financial realm. So I've been talking about budgeting a lot. Budgeting sometimes is a painful event. Nobody wants to budget. Nobody wants to be restricted because I want to go to Walmart, by golly, and spend every penny I have on whatever I want. I don't want to follow a budget. I want to buy what Travis wants. It's my money. I earned it. I worked 40 hours a week. It's my money. But the pain inside of that is no, I've got to discipline myself through finances, through my budget. I've got to discipline myself and work up to my pain capacity. I've got to work to a level that I have the capacity to live to. And so therefore I have to expand that capacity in order to move on and move forward and grow and make that capacity even bigger. Another thing is we have to discipline ourselves to the things that God teaches us in the scripture. It says, don't be a slave to the lender. Don't get debt. Don't borrow debt. That's painful because we want stuff now. We want it right now. We want it today. We don't want to wait till tomorrow. We don't want to save. And so we have to build up that pain capacity inside of us that causes us to grow. So therefore our internal capacity, our financial capacity then can expand as we discipline ourselves to save and to be more responsible and to live by the kingdom principles. Paul himself right here, he's like, I am disciplined. Paul is a great example because, when he was persecuting the church, he was the greatest Jews of all Jews. He says himself in his own scripture, I was perfect as far as the Jewish standard goes, but I give it all away for the Christ. I endure this pain for Christ so that I can be a disciple of Christ and share the gospel. And so Paul himself is our prime example of building pain capacity so we can build internal capacity. Hey, it is not fun to do this stuff. It is not fun to grow financially because with that becomes responsibility and discipline and I know I'm using the word discipline and pain kind of interchangeably, and sometimes we get confused on that, but it causes us to stop doing things that we want to do and start doing things we should be doing, and building that tolerance up to where we can, then it becomes a routine to us. So for instance, like I talked about budgeting, when we build up that pain capacity in budgeting, we get to a point to where budgeting is not a burden anymore because we built that tolerance up, that discipline up. And so now we enjoy budgeting. I myself now enjoy budgeting. I don't do the actual budget myself. Laura does that for our family, but I enjoy having a budget because now, going back to my example of going to Walmart, if I'm wanting to go buy something, then I ask Laura, okay, what is our budget? And I'm just going to use blank examples here, but I go to Walmart and I say, okay, what is our budget? And Laura says $100. Then I have freedom to spend that $100. There's no burden behind it. There's no anxiety behind it. There's no regret behind it because it's in my budget. I've been disciplined enough to know that this is my level, this is my budget, and so I can then operate within that budget. If I want to move that budget to $200, then I've got to get more disciplined. I've got to get more pain tolerant, and I've got to build it up to where my budget now to go buy something is $200. And then so forth and so on. And so the more I discipline myself in this arena, this financial arena, the more capacity I have. And so I have to build it to my pain tolerance so I can have a larger capacity. Hey, thanks for watching Financial Friday. This is episode number 15. I hope you enjoyed this. This one was definitely a difficult one to be ready for, to get ready for. But hey, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you watching this channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Life Changer Church channel. And if you want to get notified every time we do a Financial Friday, hit that notification bell. And every time we post a video, you'll be notified. Hey, thanks for watching. Enjoy your week.